In the tradition, when somebody dies, we say, may their memory be for a blessing. Willie Mays, may his memory be for a blessing. It's such an unusual construct. And what it means is every time we remember Willie Mays, truly an immortal player, 660 home runs, right up there in our collective imagination with Babe Ruth, 12 gold gloves, 24 All-Star games in 21 seasons, right up there in our collective imagination with Cobb, with DiMaggio, whose shoes he had a hard time filling in San Francisco, with Aaron, with Mantle, with Jackie Robinson. When we remember Willie Mays, we say, may his memory be for a blessing. The blessing is how good it feels to imagine Willie Mays hitting, running, the catch. 1954 MVP right out of the Army. 1965 MVP. Willie Mays, tip top of the all-timers, an immortal even while he lived. Willie Mays, the say hey kid, his memory, may it always be for a blessing. May it always put a smile on our faces. May we always revere the place he held and will always hold in the game. May he be remembered not only for his prodigious natural gifts, but may he also be remembered for his incredible devotion to the game. There's a tendency, particularly with black athletes of a place and time, to put too much emphasis on a player's natural abilities. It somehow diminishes all that they put into achieving their greatness, as if they just got out of bed and hit a home run. It didn't work that way. Willie Mays was raised with a baseball in his hand, literally in his crib. By the time he was 2, 3 years old, his father, Cat Mays, had him swinging a bat. Father Cat was a fast, versatile outfielder who played in the industrial leagues of Birmingham, Alabama. No. Willie Mays was given his all from a very, very early age. May his memory be ever for a blessing. Willie Mays, Alav HaShalom. May he rest in peace. Great autobiography. I read it back in 2022 about Willie Mays called The Life and the Legend by author James Hirsch. Well worth a read. I learned so much about Willie Mays I never knew about. Excellent read. And while I was reading the book, I started thinking, man, why am I not collecting all of Willie Mays' cards? At least his main issues, Topps and Bowman. Why have any other, say, 56 Topps before having the 56 Topps Willie Mays? And so I set out on a run to build a full run of Willie's career, kind of my own choosing, own doing. Didn't want each and everything. Didn't need leaders cards, but certainly all of his base cards, some of his cooler combo cards. And I was getting there. Over 20 cards at one point. And then it started to feel like work. And I don't hobby to make more work for myself. A hobby is something I do in my leisure time for pleasure. And so I stopped. About a year ago, I stopped collecting. Held on to most of them. Held on to the ones that I knew were mine. The ones that are like, oh, no. The 51 Bowman rookie, non-negotiable, acquired the 52 Topps about a year ago. His first Topps issue. I love his 54, the yellow one. 54 Topps, not going anywhere. Few others. His 56 Topps. His 58 Topps shown right here. This is actually my favorite Willie Mays card the blue background, head cocked slightly at an angle, the smile on his face. First year in San Francisco, first year in a San Francisco Giants uniform. Oh man, I love this card. Just kept a few. Kept my 1960 Topps Willie Mays. It's an SGC 2.5. That was the first vintage card I ever bought. But the other ones, I set them aside. I had a stack of them. 54 Bowman SGC 4, 55 Bowman with a little tiny pinhole, so it came back at PSA 1, but it's a gorgeous card, centered. 57 Topps SGC 3 PWCCE, 58 Rival Fence Busters in a PSA 5 is 59 Will Mays Make Series Catch in a PSA 7. I had a second 60 in an SGC 3, a 61 beautifully centered card in a PSA 5, a 66 Batting Leaders, the one he shares with Clemente and Aaron. Super cool card. I had a 70 in a PSA 6. It's a new label. You would not believe how centered this card is. At a 71 Topps in a PSA 7, and his last card in a Giants uniform. Really kind of a sad one. 72 Topps in a PSA 7. So I had all those cards. I set them aside. I was going to get rid of them at some point. No hurry. Willie Mays died. May his memory be for a blessing. I saw quite a bit of piety suddenly expressed on some of the Facebook pages. People got, oh, you cannot sell a Willie Mays card after he died. Guess what? Willie Mays' prices were already set while he yet lived. There's not going to be a spike. There are hundreds of Willie Mays cards available at every time. There's nobody profiting on Willie Mays' death. He was 93. He died at a ripe old age. Willie Mays cards were already expensive. I just thought this, we can't sell a Willie Mays card while right after he died, was some kind of false piety. It just didn't ring as authentic to me, because there wasn't going to be a price bump, right? Maybe more interest, but the prices were already high. There wasn't going to be some sudden spike. His cards, none of them are rare. They are readily abundant. Maybe something came to market that wouldn't have otherwise. A 1959 Home Run Derby. Oh, that is a card I would like to have. Maybe something like that somebody might put a little bump into, because there just aren't any on the market ever. But by and large, the main issue, Mays cards were already expensive. Prices were already set. And I found that piety to be asinine. Willie Mays, may his memory be for a blessing. So what I did was I actually took that stack. I'm going to bring them up to you on the screen. Give me one sec. There they are. There's the stack I told you about, right? Oh, wait a second. There we go. Beautiful examples. 54, 55, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 66, 70, 71, and 72. Beautiful cards, but they are not timeless objects in a disposable age. They are cool cards. His rookie card, his 52 Topps, those are timeless. Those are eternal. These are just cool. So went to the Chantilly show on Saturday, walked around, saw Danny Black, Hobby News Daily, saw Chris Sewell. Danny was working Chris's table. Chris Sewell, collector, investor, dealer, in that order. Really nice guy. Talked to those guys for a while and showed him the lot. Asked if he was interested at all. He priced him out. Price just wasn't going to work for me. You know, I recognize everyone's got to make a profit, but his number and my number were just too far apart. So what I did was I walked around a little bit more, and I went over to Ashish's table. I've bought from Ash, huge dealer on Facebook, and I showed him the stack. He took his time. I took my time. He has a good reputation, right? One of those things where I just I can trust the guy. Trust Chris Sewell too. Also good reputation. Looking at a few cards, the same stuff I've been looking at. T205 Mathewson, card like that. 4849 Leaf Ted Williams, card like that. Eventually, I want an Aaron rookie, a Koufax rookie. No hurry on all of those. Of course, he had all of those cards in his display cases. None of the examples were the ones I was looking for. Eventually, Ash and I struck a deal. Even though there was nothing I wanted in that case, came to a number agreement that worked for one of us, minus the one card. I ended up keeping that leaders card, right? That 1966 NL batting leaders, Clemente, Aaron, and Mays. Kept that, sold him the other 10, just took store credit for it. Just fine with me. Great reputation, trust the guy. I'm trustworthy. I have a store credit with him. I know what I'm looking for. And when I get it, I'll be happy. Hopefully I'll see him. I'll have what I'm looking for in Cleveland next month. Welcome to the Rated Rabbi Sports Card Podcast, where sports cards and pop culture meet the 1984 All-Star Game. I am your host, Rabbi David Spinrad. Welcome to episode number 82. Fantasyland is where baseball comes from. So what do you think? You think it's okay that I sold those Willie Mays cards, 10 cards, got a good total price? It's good for me. I'm not troubled by it. Doesn't besmirch Willie's memory. Look at some of the cards I got rid of. Sure, that 54 Bowman SGC4, that's a nice one. Someone's gonna be real happy with that PWCCE SGC3 57 Willie Mays makes series catch is always a popular card. That beautifully centered 71 PSA 7. Some set builders can be very happy to acquire that. But the other ones, while nicely centered, high eye appeal, they're not that desirable. And they're certainly plentiful, certainly abundant. 1972, 1961, 1970. There's nothing that remarkable about those cards other than they are Willie Mays cards. So I feel real good about it. But tell me how you feel. You think it's okay? No judgment. We don't have to agree. That is the beautiful thing about the hobby. Think about this. The word I think about when hobbying is apart. APART. To hobby is to both be a part of something, right? There is a togetherness, and we each hobby apart. I don't hobby your way, you don't hobby mine, and it works when we have mutual respect because we are a part of something, even though we are apart. I sold a bunch of mazes, did pick up 2 cards. I'm going to show them to you on the screen. Spent a combined $1. That's so me to go to a giant card show and spend $1 because you know what, man? I'm disciplined. I know what I'm looking for. First one. This is a 2015 Topps. It's Metallica Day out at AT&T. That's Lars Ulrich throwing out the first pitch. I heard his parents' dad was a pro tennis player. Well, Lars, hell of a musician, but his form from out the first pitch probably could use a little bit of practice. But still, a Metallica Giants baseball card for 50 cents. Awesome drummer, even if does not have good pitching form. Super cool. Happy to add to my PC. I used to bartend in New York City. Bartended a bunch of places, including a place called Prohibition on the Upper West Side, Columbus between 85th and 86th. And Lars was dating a woman there at that time. Even though they were Bay Area guys, right? Metallica. He used to spend a lot of time in New York on the Upper West Side. And a lot of Friday nights, he'd be in the back bar where there was a pool table. Super low key, small guy. I knew who he was because I'm from the Bay Area, but most people just left him alone. I don't think most people knew who Lars was, but I certainly did. This would have been like 96, 97. But I was like, hey, what's up? The guy be alone, let him shoot some pool, have some drinks. Still, I always thought that was kind of cool. Added one more card because I only wanted to buy one card and it was 50 cents. And the guy's like, I don't have any change. All right. I found one more card. It's a 2017. It says, what a day. Posey puts Giants in NLCS October 11th, 2012. Super cool card for 50 cents. Why did I buy this card, you ask me? Because in a winner-take-all Game 5 of the NLDS against Cincinnati, it was Buster who did the taking. The catcher launched a towering grand slam into the second deck of Great American Ballpark, not noted on the card, but it was off of Matt Latos, 1T, giving San Francisco a 6-0 lead in the fifth inning. The third grand slam in Giants postseason history helped them overcome a 2-0 series deficit to reach the NLCS. Do you remember that? Giants down 2-0 in the division series. I remember that because you know why? I was in rabbinical school living in Cincinnati when the Giants came back from 2-0. And check out this picture I found to show you, showing this up on the stage. That is October 2012. What's the date that he hit the home run? It's the very next day. October 12th. The photo is dated October 12th. October 11th, Buster hit that granny off Latos in Great American Ballpark. That is me and our daughter holding up a Cincinnati Enquirer. It's a great headline. Giant, huge cap, all cap, big font. It says sweep, and there's a big red X crossing out the S from sweep to weep. And look at those happy Giants fans on the screen, man. Oh, man, those were good times. Good times. All right, so that's how you spend $1 really well at a card show, man. Oh, man, good time. Bottom of the 8th inning in the All-Star game. National League leading by a score of 2-1 at the mic, as he's been all game, is the great Al Michaels. I think it's fair to say that Al Michaels is the greatest living sportscaster. Think about this. Who is better? Take a second. Al's been at the game at this point for 53 years, 1976 through 2006. He was at ABC. From 2006 to 2022, he was at NBC, and Al has done it all in his 50 plus years. Tons of football, right? Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. He's done baseball. He's doing this baseball game. He's done basketball, hockey, boxing, golf, horse racing. He is a 5-time winner of a sports Emmy. He is a 3-time winner of the National Broadcaster of the Year. He's in their Hall of Fame. In 2013, Al Michaels entered the NFL Hall of Fame, winning the Roselle Award. In 2021, he entered the Baseball Hall of Fame, winning the Ford Frick Award. He's in the Sportscaster Hall of Fame. He's in the Football Hall of Fame. He is in the Baseball Hall of Fame. And Al claims to have never eaten a vegetable. He must have had cooler parents than most of us. Of course, Al's most famous call, 1980 Lake Placid Winter Games, the Miracle on Ice. Do you believe in miracles? Yes. Man, I'm little Davy Spinrad, Novato, California, 9 years old. I had never even been to the snow at that point, right? Only ice I saw was in a, in a glass. They win the gold, and what do we start doing? My brother, Dr. Shark, and I, and the kids in the neighborhood, we go in the yard, and we start yanking planks out of our fence in the backyard. The planks weren't that wide, probably like 3 or 4 inches. We started yanking planks out, the shorter planks, and we put on our roller skates, and we take tennis balls, and we start playing hockey in the driveway using planks from the fence, a tennis ball, and roller skates. Man, I didn't know hockey, but that's how big that was. Do you believe in miracles? The USA knocks off the Red Army team. Oh my God. What's his second most famous call? Well, I mean, it's debatable. We know his most famous. You might say his second most famous call is the 1989 World Series Game 3 Loma Prieta earthquake. Right? He called that earthquake as it was happening. Of course, Al, a Bay Area resident. But what I want to do on this episode of the Rated Rabbi Sports Card broadcast, episode 82, Fantasyland, right, is where baseball comes from. As I want to read to you the opener when Al came back 10 days after the Olympics, 10 days after the earthquake, to resume Game 3, 1989 World Series. Here we go. At this very moment, 10 days ago, we began our telecast with an aerial view of San Francisco. Always a spectacular sight, and particularly so on that day because the cloudless sky of October 17 was ice blue and the reflections of the late day sun sparkled like 1,000 jewels. That picture was very much a mirror of the feel and the mood that had enveloped the Bay Area, and indeed most of Northern California. Their baseball teams, the Giants and the Athletics, had won pennants, and the people of this region were still basking in the afterglow of each team's success. And this great American sporting classic, the World Series, was, for the time being, exclusively theirs. Then, of course, that feeling of pure radiance was transformed into horror and grief and despair in 15 seconds. And now, on October 27th, like a fighter who's taken a vicious blow to the stomach and has groggily arisen, this region moves on and moves ahead. And one part of that scenario is the resumption of the World Series. No one in this ballpark tonight, no player, no vendor, no fan, no writer, no announcer, in fact, no one in this area, period, can forget the images. The column of smoke in the marina, the severed bridge, the grotesque tangle of concrete in Oakland. The pictures are embedded in our minds. And while the mourning and the agonizing and the after effects continue, in about 30 minutes, the plate umpire Vic Voltaggio will say, "Play ball." And the players will play, the vendors will sell, the crowd will exhort, the announcers will announce. And for many of the 6 million people in this region, it will be like revisiting Fantasyland. But Fantasyland is where baseball comes from anyway. And maybe, right about now, that's the perfect place for a 3-hour rest. Oh. Al Michaels, the beginning of ABC's telecast at the resumption of Game 3 of the 1989 World Series. My dad's friend John was at the game. When they resumed play, his wife did not want to go back for the resumption of play. And my dad went to Game 3 10 days later, gave me the ticket stubs. I recently sent them to PSA. I thought that would be kind of cool to have them encapsulated and authenticated. Al Michaels, our greatest living broadcaster, the only announcer, the only one to announce championships in all 4 major sports, 3 times behind the mic for the Stanley Cup, twice for an NBA final, 8 times Michaels did the World Series, and Al Michaels is tied with Pat Summerall for 11 Super Bowls as a play-by-play announcer. I'm going to show you my Al Michaels card, the one that I contributed to the PSA Master Set. It's his 1989 Pro Set. I hunted and hunted for a centered one. There's not a lot of these graded. I would have loved to have bought a graded one because it would have been cheaper. Found the very best one I could possibly find. I love that 89 Pro Set design. There he is, ABC Mike, the jacket, the sweater. This is the year of the earthquake, remember? 1989, Al Michaels. Send it in raw, came back a 6. That'll be tough to sell someday. But whatever. I love that card. Did 11 Super Bowls, Al Michaels, and his career is not done. He might yet pass Pat Summerall. One Super Bowl that Michaels did not do was Super Bowl 41, February 2007. You might remember that one. Colts beat the Bears. The Rex Grossman led Bears 29-17. Who did the halftime show? Who was the halftime entertainment? Super Bowl 41 in 2007. Why? None other than Prince. For my money, the single greatest halftime show ever, 2007, Super Bowl 41. Prince. In 1984, man, Prince is killing it. The year opens with Thriller, moves on for a little bit to Footloose, Huey Lewis Sports. Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA, has a minute, but by August, Purple Rain reigns supreme, is number one in the charts. Did you know that it would do 24 consecutive weeks number one on the Billboard 200 and would be on the charts for a total of 167 weeks? When Doves Cry, Let's Go Crazy both hit number one. The title song, Purple Rain, went to number two. The album itself, 13-time platinum. Over 25 million sold. Man, oh man, oh man. And here's the thing that you might not think about. Purple Rain was the soundtrack, right? Think about that. Purple Rain was the soundtrack to Purple Rain, which comes out in June. It comes out after the album. Album releases, then the movie built a little bit of buzz. Remember the movie Purple Rain? It's basically like an hour and a half music video. His name is the kid. He's trying to make it, break through, trying to shake off the ghosts of his father, or trying to make it in the club. It's less plot and more about Prince being amazing and the music being killer. What I got here, that's the movie poster. I love that Purple Rain font. It has its own name, Purple Rain font. I love it. There he is, kind of got the what is that, like steam behind him? He's on that motorcycle, got the poofy Prince hair with the frilly. You got to be such a baller to dress like Prince. Come on, imagine me walking around like Prince dressed. So cool. And who is that up in the top step looking out from the open door window? That is none other than Apollonia. We're going to get to Apollonia in just a minute, but first I got to show you a few Prince cards. These are 1995. They're actually stickers. Panini Smash Hits. I'm going to show you all three. Card number 106 to begin. It's kind of weird. He's a black and white one, sunglasses, all Princey looking, holding a gun at the camera. Don't know. I bought it because I had to buy a lot of three to get the one I really wanted, but I'm cool with that. Second favorite one. There he is, Prince on the guitar with that. That's when he had that guitar. There's like that weird Prince symbol thing. And here's my favorite one. Prince not wearing purple, kind of wearing this like yellow thing, holding the shh. He's telling his fans to hush. God, Prince, man. Super, super cool. Those are my Prince contributions to the show. Let's get back to Apollonia. So, the girlfriend, Apollonia in Purple Rain, was originally supposed to be played by Jennifer Beals. But Jennifer Beals from Flashdance was committed to college. She was a student. So she passed on the opportunity. Prince then wanted Vanity from the Vanity Six, but she passed on the role. And then what happened was Prince was watching an episode of this show. Remember this show? Tales of the Gold Monkey, 1983. Huge ripoff from Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? He like flew the seaplane. Even had that one guy who looked like Indy's buddy, and the girl who looked like, what's her name? Karen, what's her name? From Raiders of the Lost Ark. The show was like such a Raiders ripoff, but I watched every episode. Tales of the Gold Monkey. So there we are watching Tales of the Gold Monkey. I'm in my house. Prince is in his purple mansion. We're both watching the same episode. We're both seeing the same gorgeous ingenue on the screen. And who was she? None other than the great Apollonia Cataro. Remember Apollonia? She was smoking hot. So Apollonia gets the job. It's a family-friendly show, so I can't show you the picture I'd love to show you, but what I remember from the movie Purple Rain is right here. They're at the lake right? And she's wearing the leather pants and leather jacket. They're on the motorcycle. And she goes down to jump in the lake and she just like takes off her top. And boy, let me tell you, 13-year-old Davy Boy, this launched my imagination. It continues to this day. I screenshotted just a frame before the shot that I might show you on the director's cut someday. As for now, there is the beautiful Apollonia Qatar, the ingenue, Tales of the Gold Monkey, and of course, the girlfriend on Purple Rain. The podcast would not be the podcast if I didn't find an Apollonia card to show you. Unfortunately, Apollonia Qatar doesn't have any cards, or maybe she has some weird Leaf Pop Century auto thing, but I'm not paying up for any of that. So what I found was I found a card of Saint Apollonia. This is from the 2014 Catholic prayer card set. Saint Apollonia was martyred in 249 of the Common Era. The day of her memorial is the 9th of February. Saint Apollonia is the patroness of dentists and the patroness against tooth problems. Hear that, Dr. Larry? Saint Apollonia, she's your saint, buddy. The patroness of dentists and against tooth problems. Let me read you the back of Saint Apollonia's card. At that time, Apollonia was held in high esteem. Men seized her and by repeated blows broke all of her teeth. They then erected outside the city gates a pile of blazing timbers and threatened to burn her alive if she refused to utter words of blasphemy against Christ. Given at her own request a little freedom, she sprang quickly into the fire and was burned to death rather than betraying Christ. Taken from the account of the life of Saint Apollonia by Saint Dionysius, 2014 Catholic prayer cards, the Saint Apollonia rookie. That's why you got to tune in. You don't know where I'm going to go. What do? We got Willie Mays, got Cincinnati Memories, got Al Michaels, 89 Earthquake. We got Saint Apollonia, the patroness of dentists and dental problems. Well, where can we go from here? Let's get back to the game. Bottom of the 8th inning, Willie Hernandez on the hill. Now, if Prince didn't win 1984, then most certainly Willie did. Man, oh man. Willie Hernandez, 1984 Detroit Tigers relief pitcher, wins the Cy Young. 1984 wins the MVP. 1984 wins the World Series, the Cy Young, the MVP, and a World Series. One of 3 players in the history of Major League Baseball to win all 3, Sandy Koufax and Denny McLain, the other 2. This is his peak of the peak. This is as good as it got for Willie. Played 13 years in the show. Long-time Chicago Cub, went for 1 season to Philadelphia. 1983, did play in a World Series, a losing effort against the Orioles. 1984, he comes over. He's a 3-time All-Star, 84, 85, 86. In 1984, he makes 80 appearances, closes 68 games, 32 saves, 1.92 ERA, over 140 innings. Wins that Cy Young. Dan Quisenberry finishes second. Burt Blyleven finishes third. Let's be honest with each other. It's kind of a weak Cy Young class that year, but nevertheless, Willie Hernandez is your Cy Young, is your MVP, and is the closer on the Detroit Tigers 1984 World Series champion. What else? You're wondering, Dave. Tell us, when did Willie Hernandez demand to be called by Major League Baseball as he was born, Guillermo? That would have been 1988, taking a page out of the Roberto Clemente playbook. He said, my name's not Willie. My name is Guillermo. Guillermo Hernandez, reclaiming his true self. Willie Hernandez on the hill. Jimmy Rice moves into left field after pinch hitting. Ricky moves from left to center. Dale Murphy comes up and greets Willie Hernandez with a crushing home run to left. Solo job. Only 4 runs scored in this game. 3 of them are solo home runs. Who were they hit by? Well, that would be Gary Carter, George Brett, and this one by Dale Murphy. What's cool about Murphy is they're talking about how he loves hitting at Candlestick Park, and it's true. Hit more home runs at Candlestick Park than any place where he wasn't a member of the home team. Dale Murphy, home run off of Hernandez to make it 3-1. Let me show you a Willie Hernandez card. There he is. It's his tops traded. They don't have a lot of great pictures. It's pretty standard. Kind of looking dreamily off in the little profile pic. A lefty kick and deliver. But in the right uniform. Had to have that. He opens. The base set is in the Philly uni, so I had to spring for the traded. With Hernandez on the hill, already given up a home run, brings up this guy. Montreal Expo, Tim Wallach. Tim Wallach and Buddy Bell probably hung out and bought each other beers. Kind of like a sad, like, we were great, man. I wasn't George Brett and you weren't Mike Schmidt. They're like the other guys. Oh my God. But Tim Wallach had a fantastic career. Yeah, 17 years in the show, 13 of them for Montreal, 4 as a Dodger, and then a handful of games as a member of the Angels. 38.5 career WAR, 5-time All-Star between 84 and 90, thrice. Tim Wallach won a Gold Glove, 85, 88, and 1990, twice. Wallach was a Silver Slugger. However, here, he grounds out on the first pitch to his good buddy, Buddy Bell, for 1 away. Brings up Claudell Washington, smooth brother. Claudell's got a lot of run on this show, so we're not going to spend much time on him. But just to say that Willie Hernandez, a lefty, had picked up a screwball from Mike Cuellar in an offseason before he went to Philly. Something just clicked. Had this big sweeping curveball. Claudell was a lefty, and you should just see this ball from way out, almost like a sidearm lefty release. It just sweeps all the way across, and Claudell Washington is out swinging 2 away. Jody Davis steps up to the plate representing the Chicago Cubs. Had a big first half. However, on a 2-0 pitch, he lines out to Jim Rice. End of 8 with the National League leading 3-1. I got 2 quick things, and then I'm going to get out of here. The first is I had the most amazing experience a week ago, 10 days ago. I don't like breaks. It's just like, it's just gambling. And gambling's gambling, and cards are cards, and it's just not my thing, right? But I've had this credit on loop for, I don't know, a year and a half, more than a year and a half. I had this credit for so long that they've changed the rules of how I can use it. So I go on every so often, and I just like, it's nothing I really even want. And long story short, I had this intuitive hit. I said, today, came back from doing the bat mitzvah today. I'm going to look. And they had the Topps archive. There's the active and the retired. It's that 1-card box, reasonably priced. I'm not going to spend big money. Turned out I couldn't use the whole credit anyway. But I'm watching this one breaker, and I made him an offer on the box. I think he was asking 75. I said, I'll pay you 65. Said, no thanks. Fine. He is breaking this and that. The archives is not a very popular set. It's not people aren't jumping on to do that. They were all doing these other ones. But for some reason, at the same exact time, this other customer bought a box of Topps archives retired. I saw him open it. He got David Cohn. Like, okay, I'm glad that wasn't me. Cohn is fine, but like, I'm not going to spend my money on a David Cohn auto card. Went to check around a couple other breaking sites on loop, breaking pages on loop, and it turned out that this guy OPC had the very best prices anyway. I go back to him like, what the heck? I'm going to do it. I'm feeling it. I'm chilling. Last bat mitzvah of the bat mitzvah season. And as I'm coming back, this guy had bought a second archives, did it again, opens it, gets Jared Weaver. And my gut said, go now, man, just do it. Don't even delay. Oh my God, David Cohn, Jared Weaver, get the garbage off the table. Here I come. Bought one. And as I'm buying it, a little cha-ching, if you ever did the Breaker app loop, I bought it. And the guy like reached like, all right. And like before he even shows me the stack, get to choose. It's between like a stack of boxes, which one to open. I said, my gut says bottom one, number 4. Like boom, just like I knew to buy right then. I knew to get that right there, get that bottom one before we even put on the screen. I said bottom one. Opens it up, right? And what card did I hit? Check this out. That is a 1987 Topps Will Clark rookie card with an on-card auto foil stamped out of 25. I mean, amazing. I wanted the Clark for my PC. He played massive junk wax era. I don't think his 86 is really his rookie because a traded set, you could buy it whole. This to me is his rookie card. PSA 10, whatever, like who cares? But this one with the story attached to it with the on-card auto foil stamp out of 25, man, oh man. And I just was feeling it. Just my gut said, right now, man, you got to get that card right now. Get that. And sure enough, and so here it is, showing it to you, 1987 Topps on the buyback, foil stamped, 2024, archived, retired, out of 25. I am so stoked to have this card. I'm not an autograph card, but like this is definitely my Will Clark. Okay, I need your help on this one. Should I just leave it? It's in the case with a little Topps Archive sticker on there. Should I just leave it as is, or should I get it graded just to have it encapsulated, have the consistency in my collection? I don't really care what the grade comes back. I don't know. Let me know. I haven't made up my mind yet. I just got the card in the mail this past weekend. Oh my gosh. We did a lot today. Thank you for rolling with me on a little bit of a longer episode. We talked about the great Willie Mays. May his memory be for a lesson. A little Freudian slip. May his memory be for a blessing. May his memory be for a lesson that I really believe it was false piety keeping people from selling their Mays cards. The prices are the prices. I took it as an opportunity to lighten my load, to get a nice significant store credit with Ashish, and to just clean up my collection, right? Refine it. Building that beautiful small collection. Shared a couple of cards, 50-cent pickups. Then we did a little Al Michaels flashback 89 World Series. Prince Apollonia, the saint, the patron saint of dental and dentists. Swept through the bottom of the 8th inning. Willie Hernandez, Dale Murphy, Tim Wallach et al. I got to show you this great break experience. Will the Thrill, 1987 Topps rookie card, on card auto, out of 25, making me super duper happy. All right, so I'm going to take a vacation. I need to still my mind. I need to be with my family and focus with my family. I need to see some beautiful art and beautiful architecture. I need to eat some delicious food. I need to put away my phone. I need a break from screens. I just need to catch my breath. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to be gone for a while. I will be back for the National. I would love to connect with you at the National. If you are going to be at the National, send me an email at theratedrabbi@gmail.com, or you can message me on Instagram at ratedrabbi. I'd love to hook up with you. Let me know if you're going to be there. I'm hoping to go to that content creator. I'm actually planning on going on that YouTube content creator get together on Thursday night. Let me know if you're going to be there. I would love to say hi. But even though I'm going to be gone for several weeks, starting this Friday, I have a really special gift. Something special I made for you. I so appreciate you being a listener. So appreciate you going on this journey with me that's starting this Friday. I have a special gift I made just for you in commemoration and in celebration of the 1984 All-Star Game. We have a series of 40 videos, just short clips from the podcast, some of my favorite moments that I wanted to share with you, 40 of them to celebrate 40 years since the 1984 All-Star Game. Thank you so much for coming along. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Better yet, tell your friends. And until we meet again, have a wonderful summer. I will see you at the National, and may you be blessed and may you ever enjoy health and long life. So long for now.